Hi, this is Gamer Bullshit, and, where we talk about games and, other nonsensical nonsense. I'm sorry about that. What is going on? I always got a little shy right there. I'm Jacob. With me is Austin. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Horrible, awful, because that intro was just disgusting.
Hey, at least there was no interruptions.
Well, true. That's very true.
Not like last week. No interruptions.
Like when you messed up, you're like,
Oh, no, I wasn't even talking about that. That was like 2 weeks ago. Or 3 weeks ago.
that was hilarious.
Oh, dude, I couldn't believe it. I was like, I wish, I wish the audience could hear how bad of a flub it was.
Oh, it was great. It was fantastic. They should have seen how bad it was because it was flipping great.
It was like comical. It was like, wow, that guy literally cannot talk.
So, what's up, Jacob? What's going on this week?
uh, Working.
Yeah, same here. I got a new job.
Yes, you did, and I work 50 hours each week.
Yeah, but you're making money.
That's right. I am making money,
And
and
that's
not even as much money as I could be. So, once I get a pay raise, more money.
uh-huh.
But oh, you were probably talking about the gaming world. Oh, well, honestly, there hasn't been a whole lot going on in the gaming world right now because the gaming world has really stunk this summer.
Oh my
From
gosh, there's just like what we said last time, there's just nothing out.
like the only thing that's even kept me sane is like Life is Strange, the Game of Thrones game from Telltale. God of War's kind of kept me busy a little bit. Jurassic World, I got on a whim, and it was fun and cute and whatever. But really, I haven't been able to actually play a game since like a legitimate game since Batman.
I know, and
Oh my
that
God,
was
Batman
June,
was almost
yes.
3 months. It was almost 3 months ago.
No,
What the
no.
heck?
Not almost. 2.5.
Fine, 2.5, whatever. Two and a half. It's
Damn it.
whatever's. But anyway, so I guess what do we want to talk about first tonight? Do we want to talk about upcoming games for the
Thank you.
fall? But since it will be,
Sorry.
coming up soon.
I got a drink. That's what was going on right there.
Oh, I knew what was going on. I
Anyway,
knew what was going on. But did you want to talk? But did you want to talk about upcoming games, or did you want to talk about something else first?
well, on our topic list tonight, we have three things. One's sort of important, and the other two are just whatever we want. So let's say I want to do the important one first because it'll be the shortest, and then I'm going to go into the fun stuff. Nintendo, one of Nintendo's patents have recently been leaked or released online, and it deals
Mm-hmm.
with a game system that they patented, of course. It's I don't want to say it's going to be an upcoming console because, of course, or console or handheld or whatever game system, because these things change all of the time. But people are beginning to make predictions of what it could be, especially since Nintendo has already said that next year they're going to announce their next project or console, the NX. That's the code name. We still don't have a real name for the Nintendo's next home console, but right now it's called NX. And some people are theorizing that this Nintendo patent could be and may be the NX console. And what's so big a deal about it is that right now this gaming system has no disk drive. Like there's just it's diskless.
Hmm. I I don't know how to respond to that
Well,
because
see, that makes me think that this patent is not for the NX. Because, no offense, I don't see Nintendo, especially with how conservative and traditional they are, making a console without a disk drive. Like, I'm sorry, I just don't. I don't
yeah,
see it.
I don't
Because
see
they're
it
still
either.
using discs right now with the Wii U. The PS4 and Xbox One still use discs. Why would Nintendo go all digital if Sony and Microsoft did? I know they always do something different. I know that. They want to be different. But a lot of people's internet cannot, like we discussed, I think, last time on the podcast how people's internet cannot handle digital downloads all of the time because of their location.
Yep.
So I cannot see Nintendo releasing a home game console that sits, underneath your TV without a disc drive. I don't see it. I just can't.
I don't.
So,
I don't either.
What makes me think is that this patent is not for their next console. I think it's a design for another handheld.
Really?
And the reason why I think that is because, according to the diagram picture of the parts of this gaming system, there was a card slot for a memory unit, a memory card, which means that could be multiple things. It could be a proprietary memory card. It could be an SD card that you can use like in a Nintendo 3DS already. It could be any type of memory device. So I'm thinking this patent may deal with another handheld.
Maybe.
Because the Wii U, you owned a Wii U. Does it use memory cards? I know it has its own internal memory, but does it use memory cards?
Memory cards, no, but you can hook up SD cards to add additional memory, if I do recall.
Okay.
Or like USB. I think there was an SD micro hookup, but there was also USB ports, which I'm pretty sure you could configure and use like USB hard drives, like you could on your 360 and PS3 and stuff like that.
Okay, because see, this gaming system of the picture, it supposedly does have an internal hard disk drive, so it's going to have some sort of memory. But if I remember correctly, doesn't the 3DS have a little bit of memory of its own, like its own internal memory? I think it does.
Maybe.
I want to say it has a little bit.
Probably for like if you had to take pictures and stuff on it, but it's not like enough to really support anything because
I know, but see, that's the thing. This diagram didn't say how much; it just said internal HDD. Exactly. So, and I'm not familiar with 3DSs because I do not own one. I would have to ask my cousin who has a 3DS because he plays the shit out of Pokemon. But I want to say it does, but I'm not for sure. I don't feel like Googling right now. I'm being lazy. Let's just be honest, listeners. But I'm thinking this whole Nintendo patent thing is not to get worked out about. Like, I think it's nothing major. I think it's just another handheld they're thinking about. I do not think it has anything to do with the NX.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really familiar with like what Nintendo's next big project is and everything, but I mean, from the sounds of it and everything, it does not sound like it is that because honestly, even though I know the Wii U's been out for 3 years, I still don't think
actually no, it's no longer out for 3 years, hasn't it? Or did it come out in
2012? 2012.
Okay, 3 years.
Because I was working at Walmart at the time when it came out.
That's crazy.
Yep. And I mean, I know it's not near as powerful as the PS4 or the Xbox One or PC, but I still think they can get pretty good use out of the Wii U. I think the main reason why the Wii U hasn't sold is because of the way it's been marketed. It's like the Wii U. It's like, why'd you call it a Wii U? Why couldn't you just call it a Wii 2? People think it's like a game or something. Like I literally had, when I worked at Walmart when it came out, people were like, what's a Wii U? Is that like a new game or what is that? I'm like, no, it's a new like actual console. It's like, really? I'm like, yeah. Why'd they call it a Wii U? I'm like, I don't know.
They just made it too confusing.
Yeah, it's like you should have just called it a Wii 2.
If they called it a Wii 2, all consumers would understand.
Exactly. Even if that's not exactly what it was. I mean, even though it can play Wii games like through sensor bars and stuff, it can also play the Wii U games. And I mean, and it plays good. I mean, you've played it, and you think the games look really pretty on it and everything. It's just the games don't necessarily speak to us as gamers right now. Mm-hmm. It's more like a party game thing.
Yeah, it's either you play it with friends or it's for kids, which
exactly.
I know Nintendo has always been kid friendly, and I understand that. But it's just
they're more kid friendly now than they used to be. Whereas like an N64 and GameCube, like you had games like you had the Legend of Zelda games and everything, which are more kid friendly
Well,
games,
okay,
but they're
I'll
still
give you a
crazy
great
games.
example. Nintendo 64 had Conquer and Perfect Dark Zero, or maybe not. No, not Perfect Dark Zero. My bad. GoldenEye, and then the GameCube had Geist and Eternal Darkness, which are
And Resident Evil 4. What was
yeah,
that PS2 first?
but no, it still came to GameCube if I remember correctly. So, I mean, those are mature rated games, and now you don't see a lot of that. Like on the Wii U, you see Batman Arkham City, and you see Bayonetta 2.
Mm-hmm.
But it's yeah. There's not much variety in that whole market, though.
Yeah, it's like oh, there's more kid friendly games, and not there's anything wrong with that. They're very good games for a lot of times. They're entertaining, and nostalgia goes into it and everything. But it's like maybe do a little variety. You got this awesome touchpad, controller, which feels really good. The controller feels really good and everything, and it's like you could utilize this in a way. Like I know that the Zombie U game, it got mixed things. Like some audiences really liked it, and a lot of critics didn't really like it. I thought it looked kind of dumb. There's a lot of people that really liked it.
I went to a friend's house who had a Wii U at the time, and that game was out, and they had it. To me, it looked interesting. Like I'm not going to say it was a great game, but it actually looked like fun.
I mean, it looked more interesting than like Dead Island or anything like that. But I mean, it just
Island.
I don't know. Like I like the concept that you have to like if you want to look at your inventory, you have to look at the touchpad, and it doesn't really pause the game.
Mm-hmm.
And like once that character dies, and like you get respawned as a brand new character.
The funniest part about that is that Zombie U was re-released for PS4 and Xbox One, but it's just called Zombie now.
Really?
Yeah. The sad thing is, even though it's technically remastered, and it's another remastered game, since I didn't own a Wii U, I kind of want to buy it because I think it's only like $20.
Yeah, probably something like that. It'd be something different to play.
It's cheap for a game like that because a full game is $60 or Nintendo. Is it 60 or 50?
60.
Yeah.
Some are 50, but most news are 60.
So like getting a game like that, a full game that was originally $60 and getting it for 20. Like, yeah, sure, it's a digital game, but still, $20 for a full... You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it supposedly looks better than the Wii U, which I would hope so. But I liked the idea of it. I would just have to go and research it. Like, see someone else play it, watch a video about it, and see if I could get into it or not.
Yeah. I agree.
Because, like, I could see the inventory system working with the PS4's touchpad.
Yeah, a little bit.
Xbox One, I don't know. I guess you would just press the start, or not the start button, but the 3 bars button. There's no more. Okay, Greg has an Xbox One, and I've played with it, and I like it. But like the Xbox One doesn't have a start button anymore. There is no start button. It's a symbol now, and it's hilarious.
That's dumb.
Like, how on the PS4 we have the touchpad, we have options, and share?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we don't have a start button either, but we have something that says options, and it's not just a symbol.
It's a pause button, is what it is.
Yeah, but, I mean, oh my gosh, it's hilarious. Like, the start button and the select button on the Xbox One are no longer words, they are symbols. One is like 3 bars, I think, and the other is like 2 squares on top of, like, overlapping each other, I think.
Mm.
It's so weird.
Huh.
And I haven't figured out why they decided to get rid of start select on both consoles. I haven't figured it out.
I don't even know.
I guess because now in this day and age, start and select doesn't make sense with what those buttons do now. I mean,
when did it ever make sense?
Like the Nintendo days, like with the NES. Start to start the game and select to select options.
I guess, but I mean, it still pretty much applies.
I know, but it's just funny because it's been there, since its incarnation almost.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah.
But yeah, this Nintendo patent, it's interesting. Like I said, I don't think it deals with the NX console, but I think it deals with the new handheld, and that's what I'm predicting.
Right. It's possible, very possible. I mean, it does sound like a new handheld, which would be kind of cool because they've been milking that Nintendo DS for 10 years now.
Well, it's not the DS, it's the 3DS, but yeah, I know.
It is a double screen. It is a DS. I don't care about the three.
I would like to see a new Nintendo handheld that didn't have the dual screens. Like, don't get me wrong, it's useful, but I don't think it's necessary.
I think it's too gimmicky now. Like when it came out, it actually kind of served a purpose and it did some stuff. But now it's just kind of like,
It still serves a purpose, but like there's other ways you can go about it now, I think.
Yeah.
So like we've gone through a DS, a DS Lite, and then we had what, a DSi,
Mm-hmm.
and then
The XLs,
the XLs, which
and then Nintendo 3D,
the 3DS.
and then Nintendo.
It was
Yeah,
3DS, and then
I know.
3DS XL, and now we have the new 3DS.
And then there's also the 2D,
Oh yeah, and the 2D, which is just a 3DS without the 3D.
which I mean, that's kind of cool. But why couldn't they just make it a normal shape? Why they had to make it different?
Yeah, just the rectangle that you carry around. It's like a giant ass square in your pocket.
Yeah, that's weird.
Why didn't they just make it fold like a normal 3DS and just say it didn't have the 3D in it? Like,
Well,
that would fit in your pocket better because normal 3DSs are fucking small.
Yeah, that's like, why did they make a Game Boy Micro? You know, I feel bad for the Micro because it is actually kind of
The
nice,
Game Boy
but no one bought
Micro?
it. Yeah,
Okay, I never had one because after owning an SP, it was stupid to get a Micro because not only was it smaller than the SP, but I don't think it had, when the first ones, I don't think had built-in lights in them. So
No.
I was like, why would you downgrade? This is when I was a kid, though, because like the SP and the Micros came out when I was still a kid. But even as a kid, I'm like, why would I want to downgrade from my SP that not only folds, but it has a backlight in it where the Micro doesn't?
right. I never even knew what the Micro was. Like, I was like, what is that?
I feel like the Micro wasn't a bad idea, but it wasn't executed well.
No, it is marketing.
Marketing and also the lack of a backlight really fucking bothered me. Because being able to play my Game Boy in the
Yeah.
backseat of a car when I was a kid at nighttime was awesome.
Yes.
Because,
That was always the struggle. It's like, oh, I had a Game Boy Color, and of course they didn't backlight, but I had a little lamp, but it would drain your battery.
yep, before I had an
It's like-
SP, I had a Game Boy Advance. Okay, see, I didn't start out with the original Game Boy, but I started out with a Game Boy Color, and I never had a light for it at all, so I couldn't play it at night. Luckily, you
Right.
did. But I got a Game Boy Advance, and I did get one of those lights that connects to the top of it through its link port or something like that. One of the ports on top, and it was a light that just shined on top of the screen, and that helped me seeing it at night. But then when the SPs released, I was like, oh, I really want one of those, and I got one. And it had a backlight in it. And I'm like, this is the best thing ever on the planet Earth. As a
And
child.
it still kind of is.
Yeah. So, I
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Nintendo has a bad rep of not marketing well.
they do, and it's weird. I mean, it's just,
We Japan, we do everything real good, so people buy. Yes.
I don't know what to just talk about. I don't know if they just don't want to spend the money on it, or if they just don't know how to market in America. But
Yeah, maybe it's different in Japan.
well, it's totally different in Japan. Japan, especially since they're Japanese made, Nintendo and Sony like skyrocket in Japan.
Yeah.
I think there are more Vitas in Japan than anywhere else in the world. Like
Yeah,
people owning Vitas, like PlayStation
Yeah.
Vitas.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it just sucks because the Vita in Japan gets like all these awesome Japanese games, and in America we don't get them because they don't localize them. and we have to import them. And they're still in Japanese because they're like, well, they won't do well in America. And I'm like, dude, fucking Vita owners are begging for those types of games. Like, even if they are Japanese games, they're bigger or even possibly better than indies.
Yeah.
Because now the Vita is like an indie machine and niche gaming.
Pretty much.
And it's sad because the Vita, in all honesty and in all, like, everything, the Vita is a great handheld. It's powerful. It can do multiple things. It's truly a great handheld. They just haven't used it to its ability because they view it, in my opinion, as a failed product.
You want to know why the Vita failed? Because the PSP.
Well, okay, the PSP actually did better than the Vita.
Yeah, I totally know that. Everyone and their mom had a PSP back in the day. Back in 6th grade when that thing came out, yeah, I wanted one too. But honestly, I feel like the way that the PSP got treated toward the end just hurt it because a lot of people are like, it's not so great anymore, you know. And of course, when a PSP comes out, and that was a PlayStation 2 portable, right?
Sort of, kind of. It was more like a PS1 portable. It couldn't play on the level as PS2.
Well, technically speaking, that's what I'm saying.
Let's just say it was better than a Game Boy.
Well, they came out with that right at the end of that generation, and when the PS3 and the Xbox 360 came out. And when it came out, I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool and everything. But it's like I was always thought, why can't why can't they make a portable Xbox 360 or something like that, or PS3?
Oh, I know.
Why are they doing a PS2?
It's funny. I always wondered why when I was younger. I think I have a feeling why now that I'm older, but when I was younger, I was always curious why Xbox never got into the handheld market.
Oh, they'd kill.
But then I realized they don't want to invest the money into a handheld because they probably know that Nintendo dominates that market and that they wouldn't make enough money to sustain like the costs of making it.
That's like when they tried to go against Apple with the media player when they came out with the Zune. And I will say this, I never owned a Zune, but my friend had one, and I actually liked the Zune a lot. A lot. Like, I liked it a lot.
I don't know if it was Greg or someone else. I feel like someone owned a Zune, but I never truly played with it. So I'm not super familiar with Zune, but I do know that I do not like. I did not like Zune's music program. Like, you know how iTunes is a music program?
Yeah.
I didn't like Zune's. I did not like their program.
Yeah, I don't like Windows Media Player.
Oh,
like
that's just a piece of shit right there.
That's what I'm saying, but I don't know what it was exactly, but I liked the way that, like, how it felt there. Like, it felt good, you know, it played music just as loud as an iPod, you know, and I don't know, it seemed like you could customize it more, at least then, because it was almost the same size as like a iPod Classic, which were awesome too. I like iPod Classics a lot.
Well, to this day, you still can't do a lot with an iPod.
You really can't. I mean, technically speaking,
that's not what they're built for. They're not built to do a lot. They're built to just play music, unless you have an iPod Touch.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you know, I mean, I feel like in order for things to get better, there has to be competition.
Oh, totally.
If there's not competition, you're gonna get lazy and complacent.
I know. I just wish the Vita could compete with the 3DS. Because
it's a price difference.
I love my Vita. I do. I love it. Yes, it sucks that I can't get a lot of games on it, but the games I do have on it, I enjoy. I love playing them. Like, I truly do. It's a great handheld. For me, as a gamer and as an individual, it's better for me to own a Vita compared to a Nintendo 3DS. Just because the games are apply to me better. They are more enticing for me to purchase and play than a Nintendo game.
But you can also, I mean, like I said, price difference.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
And you know what else sucks? With the 3DSs, they support SD cards. You can get SD cards for cheap.
Yes.
The problem with the Vita, it takes proprietary memory cards, which are expensive.
That's dumb, in my opinion.
It is, and there's two reasons for it. One reason is they did it because of piracy with the PSP, because supposedly with the PSP you could easily hack it and have and just illegally get games on it easily.
Oh yeah.
That's one reason. The other reason is Sony's saying, "Fuck you, we're gonna be greedy. We're gonna make you pay all this money."
Yeah, just a little.
Because we don't want you to be able to hack our handheld like you did with the PSP.
And it sucks, because I've played, I've looked at your...
lower the prices of the memory cards, it wouldn't be so bad. Yeah, it's $200 to get a Vita, but the thing is, the 3DS XL is $200, and people still buy that.
Well,
but the problem is, and then the other problem is with the memory cards. If you want a 32 gigabyte memory card for the Vita, it's like $70. So you're almost paying. Say you're just buying a Vita, purchasing it, and you want a big memory card, you're paying for the Vita and then the 32 gigabyte memory card. You're almost paying $300 for a handheld.
It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, and that's the problem.
It's all about money. Money, 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 money. Money, money, money. Money, money, money!
Anyway, let's get off the Vita, because I feel like I'm just ah!
Well, you're venting about something you don't normally get to talk about, so...
I love my Vita, and I want more games for it, but...
Viewers, or listeners, if you have an opinion on the Vita, leave a comment about the Vita and if you agree with us and that it deserves better or whatever.
It deserves better justice than a fucking preferal for your PS4. Oh, you can remote play. Okay, I'm just bitching now.
Yes, you are.
But seriously, that's how they advertise it now as a peripheral for your PS. Oh, you can remote play on your Vita with your PS4, kind of like how you can do with a Wii U. Guess what, Sony? That's not what it was originally made for. Anyway, upcoming games. Gears of War Ultimate Edition's coming out Tuesday. I'm pretty excited about that because I actually enjoy playing Gears. I like the gameplay of it. I don't have an Xbox, but Greg does, and I'm totally going over there to play some Gears with him because I enjoyed the games with friends, and story-wise, I thought they were pretty good. But I'm excited for that. What are you excited for coming?
If we're talking this week, I was just excited for Until Dawn, but I didn't realize that Dishonored, the definitive edition, comes out that same day. So I don't know if I'll get them the exact same day, but this week I will be getting at least 2 new games for my PlayStation. I'm really excited for the Dishonored. That's one of my all-time favorite games from last gen. And after I beat it, I'll probably just let you borrow it because you need to play it.
Whoa.
And if we're talking in the near future, I also want to play the Mad Max. What'd you do?
What'd you say? Sorry. I was talking to my girlfriend. I muted my mic really quick. Jacob.
Oh my gosh.
Are you there?
You there?
Okay, I can hear
Austin?
you. Hello? 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 Oh no. We're having issues, people.
I can hear you.
Oh, you can hear... Okay, I can hear you.
Hello, Austin.
I can hear
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Austin.
Oh no.
Austin.
I apologize,
Okay,
people.
what'd you
We
do?
are having technical difficulties. I can hear Jacob, and he can hear me. Sort of? Maybe? I don't know. He can't hear me.
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay. See, that's what happens when you disrupt the podcast flow. And
I'm sorry, okay?
Okay, but no, what I said, I'm gonna get them Till Dawn and Dishonored Definitive Collection or edition or whatever. And after I beat that, I'll probably just let you continue to play it. And if we're talking about in the near future, I'm excited for Mad Max. And apparently, Metal Gear Solid 5 already, even though like it comes out on the 1st of September, apparently it has been getting near perfect reviews already.
I can't believe. I know it's what a week or two.
It's
Excuse
about
me.
2 weeks, I want to say. Hold on.
Actually,
Hold on a
no.
second.
It's only a week away.
Um,
It's a week away. It comes out
only
September
a week
1st.
away.
So, okay,
Yep.
I thought it was 2 weeks. If it was 2 weeks out, I was like, holy crap, they already had that game and they're reviewing it? Like, geez, but to hear that that game is getting, spectacular and amazing reviews is awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. And I know I did download that like almost kind of like Phantom Ground or whatever it was called, and I started to play a little bit, but I couldn't get into it. I guess I was in a weird state when that game was free, but I deleted it. But I can just download it again if I want to because I did download it. So I might if I'm bored or something, I might get it or something. But I definitely want to get Mad Max. That game just looks fun. They talk that it plays a lot like the original Twisted Metal, which is cool.
Wait, what game were you downloaded and you didn't really like and you're considering again?
The Metal Gear Solid 5, pretty much it's like a prequel almost.
Oh, Ground Zeroes.
Yeah, Ground Zeroes, yeah.
Okay, see, I've never played a Metal Gear Solid game before, so I wouldn't know.
I hadn't either, to be honest with you. So maybe it's something where it's like, oh, you have to play all of them. I mean, I understand it's very story driven, but that's why I'm attracted to it. you know. But I mean, then other than that, I mean, I can't really think of anything past that until Front come out.
Until what comes out?
Fallout and Battlefront.
Oh my god, dude. Okay, speaking of upcoming games, did you hear? Okay, I know I've brought this up multiple times, but it's just because I don't know why, I'm just interested in it. Okay, Rainbow Six Siege got delayed till December.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, and I am so upset about that because I was actually looking forward to like a first-person shooter for my PS4 out in October, so I had some time to play it before Fallout 4.
Right.
But it got delayed till December. Now I'm like, but I'm going to still be playing Fallout, you bastards. Like, I'm not going to want to play your fucking game when Fallout's out and Star Wars Battlefront is out. I'll already have 2 first-person shooters to play.
Well, technically, Fallout can be first person and third person, and Battlefront.
Oh, Battlefront. Dude, this November, I am, I know we haven't hung out in a while, but you probably won't see me for 2 months after those games come out.
Well, we barely see each other now because I work 50
I know,
hours
but I'm
a week.
saying you won't see me at all.
Well, the thing is, the only bad thing about it is I won't be able to go to the midnight release because I have to get up at 4:30 in the morning every morning.
I know. If possible, I may go depending on work.
Uh-huh.
But if not, I'll just get it that day it comes out. Because oh my gosh, those are my, other than Bloodborne, which I already got this year, those are my most anticipated and stoked games this year. Like, I am so stoked for those games this year.
And what's funny is you didn't even know Fallout 4 was going to be coming out this year.
I know, like, when the Bethesda press conference went on, and that happened, I flipped my shit.
I had a feeling it was going to happen, to be honest with you.
Well, during that whole live stream, when they said 1/1/1, like when they were showing the release date, I'm like, that's gonna say January 1st, 2015. How much you want to bet? And then it said 11/10/2015, and I flipped out.
Yeah, I can imagine. Oh,
Dude, I was with Greg, and I was like, yes! Like, I held it all in, but I was just like,
and Greg was probably like, it's about damn time.
yeah, Greg was more like, fucking okay over there? Like, take a chill pill.
Right. Oh my goodness.
Those are my most anticipated games for the rest of this year. Definitely Fallout 4 and Star Wars Battlefront. And so from now until then, I don't know what to do other than play Terraria on my Vita.
Well, like I said, I'll let you borrow Dishonored, but I mean, it's only gonna be $40, so.
And I would appreciate that because I'm not interested enough to buy them. But if you get it and you're gonna, offer to let me borrow it, I will totally try it out and see if I like it or not. Because
Right.
I I've seen it before and I've seen gameplay, and don't get me wrong, it doesn't look bad. My problem was, okay, I don't know how the remastered version is gonna be, but the originals, I'm not a big graphics guys. I'm really not, but I didn't like the graphical style of it.
At first I didn't either, but it actually really grew on me, and it almost feels like an oil painting, and I like that
Maybe
because it
that's what
works
they
with
were
the.
going for, because
It
see, when
is.
I saw it the first or time, whatever, I don't know, remember how many times I've seen it, but when I saw it, I was just like, this is, no offense, this is kind of ugly looking, and I'm not
It's
even a
supposed to be.
graphics guy.
It's not like it's supposed to
Like
be
Dark
dirty and
Souls is
grimy.
ugly, but it doesn't bother me. But for some odd reason, Dishonored bothered me the first time I saw it.
I thought Dishonored looked a lot better than Dark Souls.
I just said, yeah, I agree Dark Souls is ugly, but it didn't bother me. But then when I saw Dishonored, it did. I don't know why. It
Huh.
just, yeah, I know, it's weird. I don't know why.
Very weird. I mean, I like at first I was like, this game doesn't look as good as I thought it was going to look because it was almost like a blind buy a little bit, but it wasn't. So I mean, like I started playing and I was like, oh, it's interesting. And then when I got into the gameplay and the style and the city and just the way the world was, like it just made complete sense. It's like an oil painting and it's kind of awesome.
I'll have to keep that in mind if when you get it and I either watch you play it or if I play it.
Yeah, and it goes with how the game, like how you play, because you can go the whole game without killing a single person.
And see, I like that. I like that you can either decide to kill everyone, decide to kill a few people, or not kill anyone at all.
And
I
what's
like when a game does that because I like a game that gives you choice.
and not only that,
It doesn't force one way to play it.
exactly, and not only that, but your choice actually matters. If you go without killing a single person, um, you are pretty like the city is actually looking like a better place. But when you start to kill people, this is during the time of the plague. There's more rats, there's more dead bodies, and the city gets affected. It's like, oh, don't go down this area. There's a whole bunch of rats and dead bodies and the plague and everything, and it affects the city and it affects the outcome at the end of the game.
And see, now that interests me because that makes me want to play it at least twice. One, to just kill everyone, and then two, to do my best not to kill anyone.
But if you kill everybody, it makes the game trickier because
Doesn't it make it harder?
yes, it's like, oh,
Well,
you want to go on a killing rampage? Oh, we're just gonna make it harder for you to get around everywhere.
well, then I will view it as a challenge.
Well, there you go. I actually think it's almost more hard to go through the whole game sneaking and not kill anybody.
Dude, I mean, it has to be because with a combat game like that you could avoid the combat, it's not easy.
It's not, and trust me, like when I had it on 360, I actually got to like the fifth or sixth mission without killing anybody, and then like I just stopped playing because I think I got preoccupied with like BioShock Infinite or something, which plays a lot is very similar to that game, like how much choice that you have to do, like it's either weapons or whatever. Um, oh God, don't even get me started on the BioShock games again.
I know you talk a lot about Infinite, so
Infinite's amazing, and oh God, don't get me started. Like I said, Defended, like I'm tired of remasters, but Dishonored, I wanted to remaster it. They've made it. And Uncharted, they're making one that I'm going to get. If they were to come out with BioShock's remastered, like if they came out with a new one somehow, like another company picked it up or something, and they came out with the remastered, I would buy it in a heartbeat.
I was going to ask you, so are you still planning on getting the Uncharted collection, the remastered version of the Uncharted games?
Yeah, I just said I was going to get it. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if
I love
want it.
Uncharted. I love Uncharted.
I've never played them before, but I've never been interested in them.
I love them. I like that kind of stuff. Like I
If
love
I
Indiana
liked
Jones
The
and
Last
stuff.
of Us, would I like them?
Yeah, I think so. It plays a little differently. Like the gameplay is like pretty much almost the same, but it's a different kind of game, so it's gonna automatically play differently. But it like the gameplay is very similar, especially three. I mean, two and three. I mean, they all play the same, but
Isn't two supposed to be like the best one?
some people say it is, but I actually find it really hard to tell which one's better.
Because I thought a lot of people agreed that the second one had the best story or something.
Yeah, the second one probably does have the best story, but they all have these like jaw-dropping moments that you're like, oh my gosh, they put that in a game. This is awesome. Like awesome cinematic moments, it's kind of like the exact opposite with Last of Us, where in Last of Us, like it's more about tension and yeah, you do get some nice, like very nice landscape views and everything. Whereas in Uncharted, it's about the craziness, and it's like, oh, what's going on the screen, and like oh, how are you going to survive this? Like two, like this isn't a spoiler thing, but two, you pretty much start the game out, you're in a train hanging off of the edge of a Himalayan mountain.
Okay, pretty awesome.
And he wakes up, he's like, oh, it's blood. Oh, my ribs hurting. Oh, that's blood coming. Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot of blood.
Oh,
and it's like, it's cold.
I'm just fucked up.
Yeah, and it literally took like 12 or 13 hours, I think, to get back to that moment.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
If I recall correctly. But I mean, I think they're amazing games. I'm definitely gonna get it because those games were gorgeous on the PS3. So I mean, and I can't wait for 4, but I really want to play these games on my PlayStation 4. I think it'll honestly be almost the same effect, at least with 3, and probably even 2. 1 is a little bit of a different graphical difference, a little bit, because it came out in like '06 or '07. But it'll be like Last of Us with the graphic difference.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm pretty pumped.
Speaking of games and consoles and stuff, that gives me another topic to discuss on the next podcast, because I feel like it'll be like a mini discussion. So I'll leave that one for the next one.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean,
I think
I can't wait for the games this year. I know
it sucks we've had to wait.
I know the exclusives for PS4 aren't really coming out till next year, but the multi-platforms I'm excited for.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's just been a really slow summer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like the only thing that's really kept me tied over, like I said, is like Life is Strange, Batman, Witcher.
I want when everything comes out for it.
I'm glad.
Do. Like whenever everything is released for that game and I have some extra money, I want to download the entire thing.
I'm glad I showed you that game.
Like, I was just shocked by how interested I was in it. And, like, I still, like, right now, I want to be saving some money. But whenever
it's really hard.
whenever I have the chance, I want that game. And I want to play it with my girlfriend because I think with the narrative in it, I think she would be really interested.
Yeah, it'll only be $20.
Mm-hmm. So.
Best $20 I ever bought.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to keep that on my... I should eventually purchase this. Like, I mean, it has to be done.
It's going to happen. Oh, my goodness.
But,
well,
yeah,
I mean, that's all I've got for tonight, man.
That's all I've got, too. I mean...
All right.
I couldn't find a lot of stuff interesting in the gaming world this week, and the little bit I did, it's just... That's kind of how it is.
We chose a great summer to start podcasting.
Oh, I know, right? Oh, hey, it's better than 2014.
Yes,
well,
the summer.
Yes, it is because listen to me. Listen to this. If we started podcasting last year before Destiny came out, we would be hyping up Destiny a shit ton. We would get Destiny and then be like, "Fuck this game, it's a piece of shit."
That would have made us like internet famous because we would have been like, "Oh, it's so good," and then like we would just absolutely tore it apart.
Because that's what happened. We're like, dude, we can't wait for Destiny because we liked like the beta and everything.
Destiny.
Yeah, it's Destiny. And then we got the game and we fucking hated it.
Yeah.
And if the listeners are curious about why we hated it, you just tweet us and we'll explain why we hated it.
Or if you really want us to, we can just do like a whole podcast based on it eventually.
Yeah,
down the road.
If you want to hear a mini discussion about why we dislike Destiny, we will totally give you the explanation for it. So, but with that, you can find us on Twitter at GamerBullshit with the I's and underscore. My bad.
An underscore.
Underscore. Yeah, underscore. They're called underscores now. Didn't you learn? With Windows 10, they're called underscores now.
Oh.
Yeah. Windows 10 changed everything.
This is true. We can't count. We can't count like the Microsoft game.
Yep, we can't. So, we're on Twitter, we're on Shout Engine, we're on YouTube, we're on Player.me, and we're on iTunes. Just make sure you search for Gamer Bullshit with the I as an underscore.
And if you enjoy us, let a friend know about us. You know, but hey, listen to these guys. They're kind of dumb, but they're making something kind of valid points. They're talking about stuff I don't know. And
We are making valid points. I thought we were just spewing shit out of our asses.
well, when I have diarrhea.
Oh, well, okay.
Oh my goodness! But it was good talking to you again. I hope you all enjoyed, listening to us, and see you all next week.
And we will.